Hi everyone. So this is the electric bike project that I've been working on for the past, I don't know. Well, this particular prototype has been built for like 3 or 4 months. It was completed by May 2024. Um, it has now a down tube battery, just a typical Halong pack, as you can see. Pretty generic, and it has a controller that's rated for about 50 amps and up to 60 volts. However, this battery can only give out 30 amps and 48 volts. So, actually, I had to limit the current coming out of this controller by actually modifying the shunts. Most of the time, people on YouTube they modify the shunts to give them more power, but in my case, I had to reduce the power of this controller. It's just a typical Chinese, you know, AliExpress controller. Nothing too fancy, but it has stood the test of time. I've used this controller since 2021, which was when I got my first, which was when I started building e-bikes. So let me give you a walk around. I think the most interesting part of this bike here is the drivetrain. So right about here we have a motor. It's an outrunner motor, and then paired up with a pulley, 17 teats and 34 teats on this side. And then on the other side we have a 13 teats bicycle, standard bicycle pitch cog down to a 24 teeth on this side. Ignore the other size cog. That one was just for testing. This was 22 teeth. This is 24 teeth. 24 teeth turns out to be better, for speed and torque. As I said, the Rwanda is a very hilly country, so there's a lot of challenges regarding e-bikes and stuff like that. So, which was why I actually ventured into building this particular vehicle, because I wanted an e-bike for myself, but majority of the e-bikes that were sold on the markets had they were either too expensive, too heavy, or they were too expensive. So I decided to so they were either too expensive or were too heavy for my liking. And also they didn't have the power that would be required for climbing hills in Rwanda. So this particular motor, as you see there, that motor actually is a hoverboard motor that I had fabricated, modified a lot. Like, you wouldn't be able to recognize it as a hoverboard motor at all. But if you look at the shiny aluminum and the angle profile, maybe that will give you a hint. Or maybe if I put the camera on the other side, maybe you can see some of the bolts. Yeah, and then that's the axle. So I had to model the entire bike in CAD through Onshape. Learned how to do some dimensioning, took some measurements, and then went to work. Got some sheet metal, got some tubing, and it was a lot of work, honestly. But we're here now, and the bike, it works amazing. Top speed, not very high. It's about 35 kilometers an hour, almost 40, but doesn't never got to 40 at any point. Maybe 38, but the torque is what's there right now. The drive ratio from the motor to the wheel, if you multiply, a 2 to 1 and then another 13 to 24, you're getting roughly about 3.7, 3.69. I'll put the maybe calculation up on the screen. So 3.69 ratio. It's not even up to 4, and yet the motor pulls hard. It's crazy. Let me see if I can maybe try do a little bit of a little show. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, so that's the bike. I'm very very proud of it. I weighed the bike a few days ago. It was about 22 kilograms. Not totally proud of that weight. However, the majority of the weight comes from the steel frame itself. I chose steel because, being in Africa and having not so much you know technicians around, steel is the most popular and easy to repair, easy to build, easy to work with material. And also it's very robust, and I can trust the quality, I trust the durability. Not gonna worry about aluminium snapping on me at any point while riding, so better stay safe. And for manufacturability, because I do intend on making this bike commercially available for more people to actually purchase and use for their daily commutes. And steel being the cheapest material makes it all the more easier. So that's why I chose steel. The motor itself weighs only about the motor weighs less than 3 kilos, like 2.8 kilograms. The battery probably weighs around 4, and that's one maybe weighs like, I don't know, 150 grams. So in total, like, the drivetrain components weigh about total nothing more than 7 kilograms. Okay, but if you include the drivetrain components like these, maybe you might add another like 5 kilos, but it's nothing much. These are part of the frame. It's one thing I like about the system is the motor is a part of the frame rather than it being a separate piece, like a separate mount, so it doesn't add any extra weight. This is structural and also functional for mounting the steel, and I did contemplate on using 5mm thick steel sheets on this side, but ended up going for 3mm thick steel sheets instead, and turns out to be perfectly fine. I've never felt any flex or any vibrations or felt any like stresses in the frame that it couldn't handle because the force goes in the parallel direction. Didn't really run any like motor simulation or anything. I'm still new to all of this in a way, but I don't think I would need to do that because steel is very reliable, and I ride this thing every day. I've been riding it since since May. Never had any trouble. This, especially on this side, right? I've never had any trouble on this side. I think the only part I've had some trouble was on this, the actual chain going to the back. One, it's not tensioned by like any spring or anything. It's just a straight chain run, which is good, but it also means the chain is under some sort of like extra tension, and that's where all the power goes, whether pedaling or throttling or both at the same time. So there's some issues there. The thinness of the sprockets might need to be upgraded, but still, it's not really that big of an issue. It's only a few, maybe after 100 rides, maybe 10 out of 100, 1 in 10 times of riding, the chain will come off and I need to put it back on. And yeah, that needs to be sorted. So other than that, everything else works beautifully well. I'm very very proud of this build. Like I said, it's been since 2021 since I've been building electric bikes, and here we are. So I'll be happy to give like more updates regarding like how it all began, how I started this project, how my first bike looked like, even the previous prototype before this. This is actually the fourth bike that I've built, and this is also the best that I've built, the most reliable, taking all the experience that I've gotten over the years of so many mistakes, so many errors, so much money spent as well. But yeah, I'm super happy about the bike. Thanks for watching.